Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did. Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I want to show you guys how I was able to get started as a notary signing agent making $10,000 a month. When I first got started in 2015, I had no idea how lucrative this business was. So much so that I was able to quit my full-time job in 2016. Over the next few years, I've had so many successes and failures that I took all of them and bundled them up into a training program just for you. The training is available at notarytonotary.com, and there are two programs that you can register for: the Notary Signing Agent Training and the e-Notary Training. Make sure that your state licenses e-notaries before you register for that training. Once you register, you'll have instant access to the online training platform, as well as access to our live weekly interactive webinars with replay capabilities. Ready to get started? Register today at notarytonotary.com. Until then, happy signing! Hey guys, I was muted. Okay, good morning. It's not morning, it's afternoon unless you're in California. What's going on? Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 12:30 Eastern Standard, but if you are not on Eastern Standard, good morning. So I wanted to hop on here really quick. I probably will be on here probably about 20 minutes, give you guys some quick tips and things you can do for your business. If you are just tuning in, my name is Vanessa Terry. I am the founder of Notary to Notary, the nationwide notary training company that teaches anyone how to build successful notary businesses. I am at the Notary Business Center, so I have to keep an eye out for if someone does come in. I do have to go do that notarization. So this morning, it was so funny. I met with, if you were on my live yesterday, you know, I had a seller side close earlier today. And one of my students, Tamika, she actually came and did the witness close because of the Florida property. So we needed an extra witness. And it was, we were talking about just the business in general. She's been a six-figure notary for a while now. And we were just talking about, well, thank you for popping in, Rihanna. We love it. She was just talking about how she kind of stopped doing inspections and she's been putting more of her effort. I think it's like general notary work, not so much as loan closing. And then she was like, well, her loan closing, she felt like had slowed up as of recently. And it was funny because when she said it, I said, okay, what you doing about it? And she was like, I know. And so it's like, you already know, like you've been into every one of my classes. Like, you know, this cycle, you already know how we do when it's time to, you know, if things get slow, you know what we do to rev it up. And so she's going to get to work on those things, which is basically all the things I talk about in the course, you know, working the list, doing the marketing, doing the, you know, the pushes, making those connections, you know, reaching out to those companies. Like it's just the same thing. If you ever feel like it's getting slow, people are still closing every day. It's a matter of you becoming the notary that they're calling to do that closing. So this morning, I actually did $200 this morning. So I did $100 in inspections. Took me about an hour 15 to get them done because I had to drive to different locations, but it was $100 in inspections. And then I did a closing for $125. But I say $200 because I pay my witness $25. So I made $200 before 12 o'clock. I said, that's a great day to start the day. Let's go. And so I don't have any scheduled closings for the rest of the day. Yeah, I don't have any schedule. I did accept an order, but I countered it. So I countered a closing. So if they give it to me, I'll have that later at 5 o'clock. Just depends on if they take my offer for it. But what I do, also I've been telling her too, she agreed. I said, I've been getting a lot of general notary work. And so I'm not surprised at all if I don't get at least like 2 or 3 calls today just for general notary work, which is like your power of attorneys, your wills, your any kind of affidavits. It really doesn't matter. I said general notary has been picking up a whole lot. And that's where I've been like, and it's just the business. Like some days you're like flooded with loan closing. Some days you have a lot of inspections. Some days you have, apostille. Some day you have loan closing. That's why I like to diversify my notary business. And I'm not just doing one thing. And so what I wanted to, and I remember the reason why I titled this training, this video clip, how to manage your time as a business owner, is because I'm not talking about like how to manage working with your kids or like cooking. And like, speaking of cooking, I'm on a water fast. Pray for my soul. Okay. It starts today. I'm doing pretty well. So my last meal was yesterday, probably like around 5. I think, no, it was early, probably like around 4. And then I juiced. So I had my juice. I think my last juice is at like 8 o'clock. And so that's it. So the goal, and so if you don't know what a water fast is, basically where you only drink water. I'm thinking about that. I need to go get my water now too. And the key is what I hear from people who do it, you want to stay as full on water as you possibly can, which means I need to go throw down like 1 or 2 bottles of water because I'm feeling my stomach do a little bit of And when you do water fast, you don't drink anything else. It's just water. And so the goal initially is for me to go 4 days. People say you could do 7. It's like, I hear you. We're going to find out. Apparently the hardest days is 2 and 3. If you can get past day 2 and day 3, then you'll be fine. So today is my day 1. I will keep you guys posted. Don't judge me if I don't make it till Sunday, but I will let you know. But anyway, yes, I'm not really talking about how to plan your day in terms of like management as far as like things outside of your business. We're more so talking about like how to manage your time within your business as a business owner. Okay. Let's see. I just applied for my notary commission, so I should be getting it in a couple of weeks. And I plan on becoming a loan signing agent. I love that. Definitely get into the ultimate notary training. That's going to help you leaps and bounds at notarytonotary.com. Do I need any extra certifications to be a loan signing agent here in Texas other than just being a notary? You do not need anything outside of being a notary. You do want to have E&O insurance though, for sure, but it's not required to have anything else. We recommend doing additional things that we go over in the course, but you can start closing loans just by having a notary commission, technically by law. Okay. Oh, you may want to sign for the Ultimate Notary Bundle. Boom. I thought you was asking me a question, but you were answering her question. I love it. Hey, Alexis. I haven't seen you in forever either. Where have you been? Hello. I'm going to have to catch this in a second. I can't answer right now. But yeah, so we're just going to talk about a few subjects. I want to put I made little notes. I'm going to give you those notes so you guys can have like action steps. So, and it gave me the idea when I was talking to Tamika, because she was just like, well, what, it was getting slow with loan closings. What should I do? And I basically was just like, you need to work your business, right? So we're going to jump right into it. So the first thing I wrote down was marketing, and then marketing research. So those two different, market research and marketing is 2 different things. Okay. So marketing / advertising, whatever you want to call it, you need to put time on your schedule for that. So as a business owner, I recommend, especially if it's your first time having a business, designating days. So maybe you have Monday is Monday marketing, Tuesday is accounting, Wednesday is like whatever, but like, and I found it easier to do that when I first got started. So like, this is what I focused on outside of your actual skill set. So unless you're actually going out to a notary appointment, going out doing a wedding, going out doing an inspection, if you're not actually doing your actual trade, then you work on whatever it is for that day. That I feel like helped me a lot. Also, I have another coaching student. I was giving him advice. He had quit his job. He's like, all right, Vanessa, I got to get this right. I think he said by the end of the year or by January, sometime by the end of January. That's all right. Well, that means what I need from you is full commitment, 8 hours a day at minimum. At minimum. I need you to, because most people get into running a business and they run it like, like a side hobby or a side gig. And if you do that, you're not going to be successful. And so when you go get a job, most people work 8 hours, right? Put that same 8 hours into your business. And it doesn't mean lazy 8 hours, like, oh, I'm going to do like Facebook posts while I'm watching this Netflix show. Do you watch Netflix at work? Now, some of y'all might do that, but that's not the point. The point is, when you're being focused, are you doing that? No. Okay, so you want to really work your business like a business, which means I would recommend everybody to put in at least 8 hours a day on their business. Hands down. Okay. So marketing implies that you're doing some kind of promotion or advertising or optimizing your website. So like there's a course that we have, how to rank on Google, that helps you to optimize your website. And basically it'll help you. People always, I had a lady I was talking to yesterday that was asking me how to optimize the website. And I was giving her things that I had seen, things that I do and things from the course that would help you in that space. And so like, for example, something as simple as labeling your pages, putting your keywords on your images, having a blog, optimizing your page with keyword optimized blog posts. Like there's so many things you can do, updating your meta tag and your descriptions on each page for your website. A lot of these things, this might sound like gibberish to some people, but this is what you have to do. And so when she was asking me, like, where would that rank in importance? I think it's number one. Like, it's definitely up there because of your main business. Every business is generating leads. If you cannot generate leads and your phone's not ringing or your email's not going off or your text is not going off, you're not making money, which means, what are we doing here, right? So definitely set some time just for marketing, and I'll put a couple links in the chat for things I think you can use. Canva is free. Use that. Canva even has a Canva. People think, I'm telling y'all, some people have excuses all day. Canva has a Canva University, like a Canva, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hold on. A Canva school. Okay. And it basically, I'm gonna put the link in here. Oh, actually, I'll screen share and I'll put the link. If you're like, well, Vanessa, I don't know how to do that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Hold on. We're going to take care of that real quick. What we're not going to do is have excuses. So look at it's 20 different training videos, real quick videos that shows you how to just do some basics. And then they have a whole little, this is just one part. They have a whole little section where they actually just teach you how to do different things on Canva, completely free. So the idea that I don't know how to market, I don't know how to build, I don't know how to create the content. I don't know how to post to social. I don't know how to do blah, blah, blah. It's all on here. So let's not with the excuses. Okay. All right. So definitely set some time up for marketing. Okay. So for your website, like I said, there's a course that I have, how to rank on Google, that'll help you with the SEO portion of your website. I have another course, it's like AI for your notary business, that shows you how to use AI to automate the content creation for your blog posts. Get that, boom. And I'm also going to go over that in the class. So like when we have a class coming up, Jumpstart Your Notary Business, January 6th. Okay, it's only 100 people can be in that class. I will tell you, you'd want to get your ticket now. Don't send me an email on January 5th. It's like, Vanessa, what had happened was, because y'all like to do that. I don't know why people do. They wait until the morning of and say, or like I'll be in the training, like an hour in the training, and I'm getting these emails like, can you still let me in? What we're not going to do in 2024 is procrastinate. We're not going to do that. No, sir, and no, ma'am. Okay, so the class is online. It's virtual. It does have a replay. It's 2 hours. It's January 6th from 10 to 12. Okay, and we are going to talk about AI and automation during that training. But that's what I'm saying. Setting up time to work on your website, optimize it, add content. Like that needs to be a part of what you do for your business. If you're not on your website at least once a week adding content, that means you're booked and busy. If you're not, what are you doing? Okay. Next thing you want to set time for is also market research. Okay, so right now, how many of you guys think that loan closings are slow? Okay, are you getting that? Where are you getting information from? And this is why it's so important. It's so important for you to understand who your clientele is. If you're marketing to title companies, if you're marketing to estate planning attorneys, if you're marketing to people who want to do apostees or people, foreign nationals or things like that, whatever the people who have foreign transactions, whatever the case is, where is your market and what's happening with your market? So prime example, during COVID, power of attorneys Power of attorneys, wills, and medical directives saw an all-time high. Estate planning attorneys were rocking and rolling. Okay. Did you know that? And there were plenty of articles talking about that there was not enough attorneys and notaries to be able to get these documents done, because unfortunately a lot of people were, planning, well, you should plan anyway, but a lot of people were not. COVID was not a good time. Okay. So that being said, did you understand your market? Did you leverage that time to get in with those attorneys? Right. And so right now, same concept. People are saying, oh, the market is slow. Is it slow? Do you even know what's happening with the market right now? I do. Do you? Do you know? Right. And so that's what I'm saying when I say market research. Okay. You need, and then your market research is not coming from a Facebook group. Why? Because those same notaries that are complaining, I guarantee you they're not doing market research. They're just saying my phone's not ringing. But do you actually know what's happening? Do you know what's going on with interest rates right now? Do you know what? And there's so much more that determines the housing market than just interest rates. But if you just sit back and say, well, all I do is wait for my phone to ring and I'm not proactive at what I'm doing, certain products move at certain times. And so it's a matter of understanding your industry and when it's going to pick up, right? And when it's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? So like statistically, for example, this is one thing, and these are things we're going to go over during the training on January 6th. Statistically, housing rates the interest rate will decrease during an election year. When's the next election? Exactly. Okay. And so, but that's something that you only learn from understanding your market, and I just say that it's already going there. I did a close. I told you yesterday, I said, I did a couple closes. I think like 2 or 3. And I was like, what is happening? Right. And I had to research the program and figure out what's going on. But there are a lot of programs. And y'all know too, I got the backside because I'm a loan officer too. So I get to see the products and services that all the banks and the mortgage companies are pushing. There are programs now where people are getting in at 3.99%, 5%, so it's there. And so it's like, but you only know if you're in the know, right? So if you're in the know and you're doing your market research, you can then see, okay, who's moving what and where do I need to be putting my effort? So definitely have a day where you're doing just market research. So marketing, think about that's pushing out, right? You're getting your brand, your name out there. Have a day for that. Market research, you can even do in the same day. Maybe you do like 8 to 12, pushing out. 1 to 4, research. Okay. Next thing I would think that I would add on to for sure is legal research. So studying your handbook. I can't tell you how many times I have coaching students or people in general. They're like, "Oh, can I do this? What does your handbook say?" Like that's the first thing. And it depends on the question. If you're asking me like, "Can I post this online?" That's fine. But if you're asking me, "Hey, Vanessa, can I notarize this person's signature if this, and this?" And if you're not in Virginia or Florida, I don't know your state law. Your state law, it varies by state. Have you read your handbook? How many of you guys ever called me and asked me a notorious legal question and I told you, have you read your state law? I haven't read your handbook. I don't know if you can do it in your state. I know what I can do in my state, right? And so if it's an actual legal question, you need to know the legality. So you need to take time not only studying your handbook, but reading. Your handbook is typically, it's not a dumb question. It's okay. Your handbook is usually provided by your state. So most of them are free, right online. I believe I have it in the course. There's one place in the course where I have all the handbooks. Well, all of them except for like 3, because like 3 or 4 states make you pay for it. I think North Carolina's one. I want to say Georgia might be one. I forget, but they actually make you pay for the book. So you can't like just download it online. But most of them, you can just get it right online. But there should be a link. I know we added that this year. It's either in I want to say Ultimate Notary Bundle. Let me think about it. No, I put it somewhere. I think it's Ultimate Notary Bundle. It should be in there. If it's not and you look, let me know and I'll just add it on there. Because I know I had a whole link for where I put all the handbooks that could have been found, but that you didn't have to pay for. And then taking time to read your state law. So reading your state law, getting really well-versed. Most states have an online legal directory where you can see all the law for your state and your county. And it's really cool. There's a lot of laws, but I like to look up like county laws. For example, there's a law. Well, I haven't checked to see if they changed it recently, so I'm not going to quote this one. I actually learned this law several years ago. But there's a law, for example, in where I live, which I had to just research it. If you have a dog and your dog barks, what is it? I think it's like more than 5 times within, I forget what it is. Anyway, with a certain amount of period, you can be fined. Anyway, but most people don't even know laws like that, right? So it's like, I just love reading law. And when you understand law, you understand what you can do, what you can't do. There's a lot of laws, for example, on power of attorneys. And it's really important to know. I did a closing yesterday. And someone was signing for, it was a POA signing. And not to give too much information, it was a POA signing and there was an issue with the power of attorney. And 2 things. One, if I had not really understood the way power of attorneys work, okay, I would have been, like, I could have still did it. I could have perfectly still did it. But the client would have had an issue, for sure. For sure. For example, power of attorneys are only valid while that person who gave the power of attorney is living. Should that person die, that power of attorney is no longer valid. Okay. And so it's things like that, like just simple laws like that. And we had to go down this, like how to get, it was a whole, like when I tell you, it was like 3 things we had to figure out. But there's one thing for sure from the closing appointment that I didn't know. And I love when I go somewhere and I learn something. And so now that I was told what needed to be done, I wasn't aware of this. So now I'm going to go back on the state website, pull the more legislation and say, okay, where is this in the law? And I'm going to go down and say, oh, okay, this is what's happening. You follow me? But and it's just really good to know. It's really good to know because at the end of the day, I could have just notarized a document and kept it moving, right? And it'd be perfectly fine. But one thing that I would like to stress the importance of why you need to have legal background, like do your research. When I did bring this up to the client that hired me, he was so happy. And he was like, if you did not catch that, that was going to cause a whole lot more issues. It was going to cost more time. It's going to cost more money. If you, just being a notary, just checked the ID, watched him sign, notarize, and left, it would have cost the client more time and money. And that's why I'm always talking about learning how to add value to people's lives. Because if I'm the notary that's adding value, that's like, well, let me see how I could, let me look at everybody's part in this. And make sure everyone's, because I could have just walked away and like, oh, okay, whatever. But because I knew, hey, and that's why I said, hey, you might want to know about this, right? Things like that will make you be that go-to notary. Make sure you get her again because she knows what she's doing. She's going above and beyond. She's not just going to look at ID, watch and leave. You know, some people think like, yes, that's your root of being a notary, but it's about adding customer service. For example, if you just go to a grocery store and you walk in, all the food's right there and like it's like not clean and like there's no bags and like, you know, it's just no customer service, you're probably not going to want to go there anymore, right? It's going to be like, what? Like, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I'm like, Vanessa, you extra, but I'm not. I went to this grocery store once a couple of years ago and a friend of mine told me to go and I said, cool. And we were checking out and we checked out and then once they've had the food, you probably don't talk about the food was at the end. It was okay. You got to go over there and bag your grocery. And I was like, I got to bag my own grocery. Like, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just wasn't prepared, right? I'm used to one level of service. And it was like, oh yeah, I got to bag my own grocery, right? And it's different. It's before they had self-checkouts. And everyone loves self-checkouts because it's like, I love self-checkouts. Anyway, the point is, it's about customer service. It's about being able to provide more to your clients than what the average person is doing, okay? If you can learn how to add more value, you become more valuable to those clients. And the only way you're going to do that is to master your industry and master your skill set. So if you're not taking time to do legal research and master your handbook and your state law and the market and the industry of what's happening, then you're just not going to be as valuable as the notary who is. You follow me? Okay. So legal research, I would definitely do for sure. And then accounting. So one thing that I will say I'm not always the best at, but I'm getting better at is taking time to just sit down and look at my accounting, but also like learn taxes, you know, business credit, I pretty much got down, but like business grants, like I applied for a business grant. I posted in the Facebook group that, how many of you guys apply for that business grant I posted? The business grant that I posted was a $10,000 grant opportunity. I love the organization that's doing it. And so, and they're really bent on helping small businesses for sure. Like I really like the organization, what they stand for. And so I posted a grant opportunity in the group, the Facebook group. And but what I'm saying with that is like taking time to actually say, okay, Vanessa, sit down, let's apply for business grants, right? Because it's like when you want to go to college, right? And you could have sat down and applied for scholarships, but most people didn't, right? Most scholarships go unclaimed every year. And then you walk around with student debt and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And so taking the time to actually apply for grants, learning the taxes. Do you know how many tax credits exist for businesses? It's crazy. Like it's crazy how many opportunities that you have as a business owner to not only save money, but make money when you just understand taxes, grants, incentives in your city. Like if you just go, like, for example, like somebody put like a city so put your city and state in the chat and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. And this is what you need to put. This is what you need to put on your schedule of things that I do. I do this on Thursdays. I do my accounting, grant researching, yada, yada, finances part, right? Anybody put their city and state. Hopefully it's a decent sized city and state and not like one that's rural because they might not I will say it's usually in like more established areas. Okay, so let's see like Houston, Texas. So all I'm going to put on here is Houston, Texas economic development. Right? All right, let me make sure I find the right site. It's always going to be a .gov site. Okay, and then where I'm going to go, I'm going to show you what you do. Okay, so if you go into your local city or county site, they're going to have an economic development department. So you have it on the city and county level, and then you have it on the state level. I always say go through your city and county first because they're more likely to have more money available to you, and it's less competition than when you go on your state level. You're competing with the entire state versus just your city or county. And so the number one thing you want to do is connect with your economic development department in your city or county. This is where it is. Okay, so normally there'll be like a contact us section. You can go on there, go into the office. So the thing you want to remember is economic development departments. What do? They want to develop the economy. What is the economy? Businesses. Okay, so their whole mission is to bring money into your city or county. So their whole mission is we need successful businesses. So they want to help you. If you just have basic questions, I'm sure they're going to, go here, do this. I remember when I went to my economic development office, the first time I went there was probably like in 2013 or something, or like 14. I'm going to go 15. When I started Notary, I wasn't as knowledgeable about the economic development. I would say 2015, between 2015 and 2016. And I went to get a business license. And I remember I was talking to one of the people in the office, and they was like explaining to me how it worked. And they were even explaining to me the tax credits. And they were like, because you're a new business, you will qualify for this additional tax credit. And it was like, this is the credit that you can use now. And what it does is that you're not going to have to pay for your business license for 3 years. Right now, granted, business license is only like what, $25-$50 unless you make over a certain amount in most cities or counties. But that program that they had, which wasn't like on the application, so if you just went online and did it, you're paying the fee. But because I went in and talked to them, they said, hey, we have this program where we'll give you a business license and you won't have to pay the fee for 3 years, right? And I'm like, awesome, I love it. And they also was the one who told me about. It was another grant program the city was having for like signage. If you want to get a sign put outside of your building, they were going to pay for businesses to have a sign put outside their building or redo their sign, right? And so why would a city want to do that? Because if you have an old, rusty, ugly sign up, people probably are going to want to shop there. But they're thinking, hey, if we can bring up the property value, we can make people think, hey, this is really cool and exciting. Yeah, we're paying $2,000-$3,000 for this sign, but it's going to drive traffic. It's going to boost the economy. Okay, so there'll be programs like that in your city and county. And the main thing is you want to connect with them. So let's say, for example, I'm on here. And on your main site, you just go here, economic development. Okay. And you want to look at like opportunity zones. Sometimes they'll have opportunity and enterprise zones. Typically, they'll have like programs for you that you guys can be a part of. If you're in talks, then figure out like, hey, if my office is is in this area. Am I in an opportunity zone? Am I in an enterprise zone? Are there any credits that are available to me? Are there any grant opportunities that are available to me? What do you guys have? And then two, I'm trying to find, they usually have a page that's like just for like grants or incentives for the business. Look at this: plan, start, manage, grow, resource. I probably would check out resources, but you're looking for, oh, look at that, starter kits for each one of these kind of companies. That's so cute. I like that. But what we're looking for is grants. And even if you don't see the grants page on here, you can always call them and say, hey, is there any grant opportunities available? Right? So I'm just looking for everything. You can also get small, what is it, like small business certified, women business certified, veteran business certified, like different things like that, different certifications you can add on. The grant that I told you I applied for, one of the questions it asked me was, are you small, minority, or women-owned business certified? So the first question said, are you a small business, minority-owned business, veteran? It asked you those questions. Are you any of these? And of course, I put yes to the ones they asked. Then they asked, are you certified in those? Like, did you get the certification? So then I had to hit yes, and I think I had to upload part of my certification, because it's just one thing to say you are, but if you have the documentation to prove that you are certified, that can give you a leg up when you're going for different grants, programs, contracts, things like that. Okay, so, but definitely just get familiar with your economic development office. I'd have to really sit on here and play with it to see if I can find the one that's going to show you where the grants are. But you can always just reach out to them and just call them and say, hey, I'm a new business in this area. And usually if you're just like kind of just getting, your feet wet, they may recommend you go to like your local SCORE department or your local SBA. So any of these, SCORE, SBA, and then what is it? SDBS. Hold on, let me show you these abbreviations. Hold on, I want you to tell you the right one. It's like SBDC. Yeah, SBDC in your area. Any one of those, including the economic development office. Okay, so spend some time on that. The next thing is actually on your service. So like whenever you're not actually going out doing your skill set, whatever that is, loan closing, general notary work, e-notary, whatever, this is when you're working on all the other stuff. So if you're not actively going out, this is what you do. Okay, so you have your service. And then the other thing I would highly recommend that you guys spend some time on is improving your technology. Okay, and so like optimizing, customizing, like how can I smooth out and make this transition a lot smoother from when they call, email, getting reviews, like what am I using? Are you using like GoDaddy? Am I calling them to see? Well, don't call GoDaddy because sometimes they try to upsell you things you don't need. But anyway, but am I using like whatever you're using, anything you're paying for within your business, even if it's not paid, Canva, any kind of software technology, if you're using like a mobile device, and I actually learned that from Chase. So Chase has this small business coaching program that's completely free. I think the next set of coaching session starts next year, because every time I go up there the past like month, they haven't had anything available. So I'm going to put the link here. You guys just check on it periodically. And Verizon also has another program, coaching program, like it's not coaching, it's more so like courses. That's completely free too. And when you do the courses, you're entered to get a grant for $10,000 too. So I'm trying to see if they have any available sessions. But yeah, I learned that from that program. And so what it said was any service that you're using, whether it's like a mail service, like a MailChimp, or like anything that you're using for your business, Notary Assist, anything that you're using, connect with them. Tell them about your business. How can you help me? How can you optimize my business? Because guess what? If you're feeding them, especially if you're paying for it. And I know Sue from Notary Assist, if you're reaching out to her and saying, hey, I'm trying to figure out how I can get to these goals. Now you can't say, how can I make more money? Well, you can, because they have a marketing section too. But you can ask and say, hey, these are the issues that I'm having in my business. Can you help me? Do you have any new updates, any new tools, any optimizations, anything that I'm not using on your software that I should be using that I just didn't know about? Because who's going to know more about their software than they are, right? And so it's taking time with technology. Maybe they had a new rollout that you didn't know about. That's like, and a lot of what happens is we're paying for 2 and 3 different things, and that one company had it all, But if you're not taking time to like really connect with the different providers you're using for different things, you're not gonna know. You follow me? Like first, even with notary to notary, there's sometimes people will say, Vanessa, I just needed they're like, oh, I need to get a journal. We have that on the website. Or they say, oh, I wanted to figure out how to do apostilles. There's a course for that. It's not our main course that we talk about. We mainly talk about Ultimate Notary Bundle. But for the most part, anything that you want to learn about the notary business, there's a course for that on my course dashboard. We have like 18 courses that we have, from trademarking to building business credit to taxes and accounting to like fixing your website, optimizing your website, to how to market title companies, how to work with nursing homes and hospitals, like basically anything in the industry, how to do apostilles, field inspections, like weddings. There's a course for that. And so it's like, but if you're just like, oh, I didn't know, and you're like looking around everywhere and you're not checking in to see, okay, I'm already here. What do you have? What else do you have that I could use to my benefit? You know what I mean? And so also, guys, make sure you get into that 52 weeks program. So that 52 weeks program starts January 1st. I forgot. I don't talk about it a lot. But it starts January 1, and each week there's going to be a new training video that we've had in one of our previous sessions that we have, or it's going to be on our what did I do? It's going to be on our previous session, or one that we've had that you haven't seen live. And so, and then I coach once a month. So once a month we come together and I do a live training in that group, but it's going to give you more hands-on, and we're going to pick topics from all over. Like if you ever at any of my trainings, like this one, right? If you're in my trainings, you know, like I may say, hey, I'm going to talk about general notary work, but then I'll pull in, we did a training one time where I started talking about how to get real estate properties. I mean, who was in that training? I was talking about how to get how nonprofits acquire real estate properties so they don't pay property taxes, and like how you could do those, how you can do the lien sales, like, and it kind of just comes out. But it's like sometimes I'm talking, it's like, oh yeah, you could do this, like, oh, I'm talking about like SEO, and I'm like, oh, you can use Bright Local because they do the aggregation for you, and then you're like, Vanessa, what is that? That's when on the hour session where I'm live, I'm going to break all that stuff down, and then you can ask your questions. So there'll be a new video each week to be about an hour long, and you do that video by yourself. And then once a month, I come into the session, the group, we have a group meeting, a group training, and I train on those 4 videos, and then you ask your questions throughout that session too. So I really like it because it really allows me to go back through. I mean, I have training videos from 2019, okay, that we're going to be going through. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I'm from a small town in Kentucky. Can you tell me a good site? I'm trying to get a grant, take your course, and also purchase business equipment. So, I mean, it's grants everywhere. I literally just go on Google and just Google grants. You can also go on YouTube. It's a great way to find it. I would do YouTube and change your filter to like last 3 months so you can see current up-to-date grants that are available. I would do that because that way you can see like grants that are currently happening, and you don't have to apply to grants that are just in your city or state. It could definitely be all over the country because they'll still give you money. Okay. And remember, grants you don't pay back. Okay. You don't pay those back. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Like really just blocking out your time, guys. Like whether it's like, you say, okay, Monday through Friday, this is when I work, and I do marketing Mondays, legal research Tuesdays, accounting Wednesdays, whatever. But really starting to block those times out. Really try to get in those 8 hours a day. Focus work, focus efforts. Even if you're doing it part-time, try to get in at least 4 hours a day. Focus efforts. If you're not actually out doing your skill set, your trade, which is notary and whatever field of notary it is, then you're working on one of these sessions. And if you map it out that way, I guarantee you it's going to increase your level of success, because when you sit down to work on your business, you say, well, what do I do now? If you just do that, you kind of wing in there and you have wasted time, versus you say, okay, well, it's Monday. I know I do marketing on Monday. Let me hop into Canva. Let me hop on my website, right? If it's like, okay, Tuesday, I do handbook study. I do legal code study. Boom, let me hop into there. Let me see what's going on, right? And so when you set it up that way, you have more focused efforts, and you can start to see, it's just like, it helps you not waste time. I feel that it works really well for me. And I actually learned it from another entrepreneur who was telling me it worked really well for them. So, boom. Okay, so really quick, let me give you some things that's going on so we're all on the same page. So we do have that Jumpstart Your Notary Business live virtual training that happens January 6th. Make sure you definitely get your virtual ticket. It is recorded, so you can watch the replay. Also, January 13th, we have our 8-hour intensive notary boot camp. Okay. And that's going to go over everything you need to know to build your notary business, including the hot topics of like AI, apostilles, loan closings, general notary work. It's an 8-hour class. It is recorded. You do get the replay. If you do come in person, of course, we take breaks and we feed you. Okay. Definitely see that in person, it's only 6 seats, but virtual is unlimited. So you can come to, it's no like limit to signing up. And so that's our virtual. So Jumpstart Your Notary Business and then Intensive Notary Bootcamp. Ooh, what did I do? I didn't click something off. And then, of course, guys, you guys know you can get into all the trainings at notarytonotary.com. I would definitely recommend getting into the Ultimate Notary Training. If you've taken that, just look at the other courses that exist. And also, make sure you're doing the courses, okay? Make sure you're actually going through and completing the coursework. That's really important. Also, make sure you get your unlimited event pass. So your unlimited event pass gives you access to all of our virtual trainings that are happening next year. It doesn't apply to the boot camp, but all the other trainings. So like the Jumpstart Your Notary Business, that will be included in the ultimate event pass. And usually we do like between 2 to 4 virtual trainings a month where we do like field inspections, like focus on field inspections, how to build business credit, how to do apostilles and actually complete them. And we go through and teach you how to complete them. Technology systems. I mean, if you haven't seen, we have a lot of events that we always do. And it's basically just like picking a topic or a subject matter that needs to really be focused in on. And then we just train for about 2 hours on that thing. And it does give the opportunity to also ask questions. Okay. All right, I think I covered everything. Thank you so much, Katrina. I love that. Or Cartina. I called you Katrina. Cartina. I hope I said it right. All right, guys, that is also the clock on the wall. Be awesome on purpose. I'm going to keep on going by my day on my water fast. And I will see you guys the way go. Be awesome on purpose. Until next time, happy signing. Boom, boom, boom. Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did.